voice on the host here. So thank you for joining us this morning. DJ's off today. So join us next Friday. Um, so good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning to you there, Mr. Parris.
Byron.
Good morning. Good morning.
There's 5 great rappers.
Hey, man, Clark hollered at you over there.
Clark, got you. All right.
Superman.
Clark in here. Clark from around the way. And of course, Mr. Rideout himself.
Hey.
There are 5 great rappers. There's Byron. Byron.
And
Byron. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Free Flow Friday. Let me do this. Great Faith Progressive Missionary Baptist Church is having their second annual back to school event on tomorrow, August 23rd from 2 to 6 p.m. School supply giveaways, fun day. Free food, backpacks, and school supplies, and bounce house fun. Again, man, those bounce houses, man. How many trampolines? Have you seen the kids in trampolines? My godkids got a trampoline. I wonder if there are a lot of injuries from trampolines.
it has to be, man, because how the trampolines are made, if you land wrong,
yeah, they have a net so you don't go off. You can do a whole lot.
I've seen some people go off
through the net.
I seen some in the hood. They don't have
They have
net around it.
Just the tap. That's how we grew up.
Yeah, just the net, and you just jumping around. But even with the springs that's connected, I've saw somebody jump so hard that them springs broke and they fell straight to the ground.
Poor thing.
Yeah, they shouldn't have been so heavy.
No, I think that's either. I don't know if they have a weight limitation.
Yeah,
I know when we were going to do that. What do you call it when you? It's like rappel, or they put you on this harness and you fly over.
skydiving?
Not skydiving, but they put you on a harness and you on a wire.
Oh, parasailing.
No,
Not parasailing.
Bungee jump?
Yeah, bungee.
Oh, bungee. Oh,
But it's not bungee jump. It's you just
Similar to.
Yeah, you go like, let's say they have a ravine.
okay.
And you just get on it and you.
Oh, are you right? Oh, yeah,
right
yeah. Okay, yeah.
But they have a weight limitation on that.
Yeah, I know exactly what
you what the harness can.
A lot of things Jermaine hasn't been able to get on.
See,
you ain't the only one, bro.
See, now, he want to open it up.
Start early with the thick
He want to start early,
with the thick
but he's
jumps
sitting
already.
over there. He's sitting over there looking like a human armadillo, full of plenty of fish, looking like a human armadillo.
So again, that's the Great Faith Progressive Missionary Baptist Church.
You started it.
Back to school event. That's tomorrow, 2 to 6, at 4767 West Hopkins.
That's north.
Huh?
That's North Hopkins.
No, it's west.
No, north. Mother called in yesterday. I know that's wrong.
That's wrong.
Yeah, mother
So
called.
the church don't know their own address?
Yeah, they made a mistake.
Somebody, whoever they had, make the flyer.
Yeah, Mother Austin called in yesterday and corrected us.
Mother Austin.
Yeah, Mother Austin. She said, "Baby."
That address is wrong.
The address wrong. Now
Don't you
I
like
used to
that
go to
set up,
Greenfield.
baby?
Yeah, baby.
Okay.
Yes, Mother Austin.
All right. Well, it does go. It is a diagonal.
Yeah,
Those are usually east
and
west.
west. That's what I thought too. But Mother Austin said it was north, so we gonna believe Mother.
Okay, and she used to go there.
Yeah, she used to go there.
I was still laughing yesterday when we were talking about the church services they had.
Oh,
and asked the question, how many of the parishioners go there when they ain't
regular,
have church service?
regular.
Oh, they
man.
ain't have church service. Where the bathroom? Oh man, right around. Well, how you know?
Hey man, some of the bartenders knew some of them guys in there. Like, hey, you here every week, ain't you?
Let me shout out the Business Council. Yesterday we were part of their. All right, it's official. Debo just showed me. So the address is 4767 West Hopkins.
Oh, it's official.
North.
So Mother Austin was correct.
Well, my bar across the street was 4764 North Hopkins.
Oh, that was your joint that was across the street from there.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
What's the Gentleman's Club?
Oh, Sahara. That was Jones.
Cheetah
That was,
Club. No, not
that was
Cheetah.
Sahara.
Cheetah. Yeah,
Sahara.
Sahara.
was like over.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
on.
we know what
it was a
Cheetah was.
Yeah,
we
Cheetah
want to know
was
how
right
you know,
by-
Reb.
35th.
on 35th.
Yeah.
How you know,
Oh, I
Reb?
had to make a phone call one day,
had
and
to use the payphone?
Yeah, they had used the payphone
Yeah.
I understand.
You know, we
in 2024. We didn't see the payphone. When last time we saw a payphone, man? We ain't see the payphone.
No, I saw one in Miami.
Okay, you
And
saw
I took
what?
a picture. Yeah,
saw
I
what?
saw one and took a picture. It was so rusty. I couldn't believe it was still standing.
In the Superman with Christopher Reeves. They were showing how we used to have those like phone booths.
Yeah.
And he showed up, and it was like the phone booth is just he can't change in it because it's just that little stand with the phone.
I wonder how the new one is.
Yeah, well, you know what? Most people have cell phones.
Yeah.
You know, so
So how was
Kids
Superman gonna
have cell
change?
phones, man.
yeah.
So how
my
was
God,
Superman
daughter.
gonna change now?
Right? He had to find an alley.
Yeah.
Had to run in the radio station.
Right.
Right, Clark. He changes at the radio station.
Oh yeah. Super.
Ran into the Sahara.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Where's Superman, man? He in there making it rain.
They be like, man, he ran a pitch funeral home. We got to change.
Saving the world.
To change.
So, thank you, Jermaine, for reminding us that the Brewers are back in their winning way.
Hey.
Keith, why don't you?
Oh, I didn't get to that. Thank you.
Yeah, show
So the business
show our
council-
award off. Byron, if you could zoom in on that.
Strategic partner. It's a heavy trophy.
It is.
Strategic Partner of the Year, honored by the Business Council. I was feeling all kind of way though,
Why is that?
because they
I
great
already know what you're
video.
ready to say.
Guess who had any speaking part in it?
You.
But guess who gave the acceptance speech for the award?
Who?
And me. And you know what they said? Michelle walked by 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Wrap it up, B.
So I had to Russell Simmons that bad.
Oh man.
Great acceptance speech, though, man. I mean, you just brought it on home.
You just saying that because I wasn't in the
So
video.
what? So
I'm still feeling.
So they had an actual video of.
You were here the day they came in and interviewed us.
I mean, I wasn't a part of it, so I don't remember.
Here we go.
Keith, I'm with you.
Round 2.
But wait a minute. Hold on. And I don't know. Me and Michelle looked at each other. There's a picture in that video. I don't know who selected that of me, Tom Barrett, and Bria Grant.
Yeah, I turned and looked when I saw that particular picture. I'm like, I wanted to see Michelle's expression, and it was there. It was there.
I'm in the video for that.
Right.
I got in the video for that.
Put him next to the haters.
Yeah, man.
Round 2.
Fight. Anyway, boy, sometimes you just happen to be in the wrong place at the right time.
Right.
And but actually that day, yeah, that was who was his God, I can't think of what's her name. His aide at that, yeah, and he kept saying, I want to take phone calls. She going, no, no phone calls.
Don't.
He said, I'll take phone calls. She go, no, don't take them. No. Wow. Boy, my 7 years here, I've had a whole lot of fun. All right, so let's get into the program. I don't have any cleanup on aisle 6. All right. So I know I heard Michelle for the last couple of days. She's really been going after the NFL, and that's what she does. I respect her position on it.
Yeah.
I understand it is, well informed, and I certainly understand. I think Shadur is going to do enough. Now, of course, he just got hurt, but he should be doing enough that he'll make the squad.
But he's supposed to play Saturday, even though they made
because he got hurt in warmups.
Yeah, well,
in practice. Yeah.
Well, they got Joe Flacco as the number 1.
Yeah, and that.
But what tripped me out?
Change at any time.
Yeah. That can change at any time. But to put the other guy, Dylan, in front of Shadur, it kind of don't sit well with me for the simple fact that most teams don't carry 4 quarterbacks.
They don't.
So to have him still slated at the 4th as a player that's looking at the roster and at the depth chart, you like, it's a real good chance I don't make the team.
Yeah, but I think how he got there, plus Cleveland and quarterbacks, man.
Yeah, so they should be running to, because I hear that most Cleveland fans are talking about boycotting because they got Shador in the 4 slot. So most Cleveland fans is talking about boycotting the games.
Well, the interest, and that kind of shows you kind of where people are and his level of popularity. Let's see.
Yeah, because for him to be behind Dylan, and Dylan can't throw.
They said that Deshaun Watson looks like he's ready to return this season.
So just imagine Deshaun coming back, and he's the highest paid out of all them quarterbacks.
$131 million.
So he's not going to sit if he comes back. So that's really going to push him off the team.
All right. So
he'll be fine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure if he goes somewhere else. But my thing is, it was 143 picks before him. 143 picks. So you mean to tell me out of these teams that really need a quarterback, because Pittsburgh needed a quarterback, and for them to pass on him and not even give this young brother a chance.
But as GM, as coach, as owner, there are other factors that factor into whether or not I bring a player in.
Yeah, character.
Yeah,
character.
There's certain things that I got to look at outside of his ability.
Yeah, but you know what pissed me off was, and I guess I could use this word, pistivity, from Shell. But what tripped me out is one of the guys said they didn't want it to be like a hip hop concert on the sideline, because that's what happened in college when he was in Colorado. You had a bunch of rappers with gold chains on the sideline. What do that got to do with his play?
But everybody brings something, and here's where I'm. There are other players, Baker Mayfield. Who else did Cleveland have that just hadn't panned out?
Yeah.
I mean, just so. I mean, there's a whole lot of hype. He certainly is a better quarterback than the 5th round.
Yeah.
But then we found out that Tom Brady was a better quarterback than the 5th round.
But they know that Shador is a better quarterback from where they picked him.
People knew that
they didn't know that Tom was.
They picked Tom Brady, and I can see why he dropped, because what was the first thing he said to Robert Kraft when he got to New England? I'm gonna be your starting quarterback. So if he's talking to people like that, people kind of going like, oh, so
yeah, but the scouts didn't. But the scouts, they didn't even see him as being nothing, because they was saying that he was going to be out the league. He wasn't going to be nothing because of Tom Brady. Because of
wrong. Well, scouts can be wrong.
Oh yeah, of course, because
Obviously.
they was looking at his body, and he was out of shape. He didn't look like an athlete or anything like that. But with Shador, he was projected to be in the top 5. And to fall all the way to the 5th round because of whatever reason is, yeah.
Look at all the quarterbacks that was taken before Dan Marino.
So is that an example of when you hear one say 90% business, 10% talent?
Of course, yeah. Yeah, because it's like that in the music industry, because it's certain artists that's out right now, like the Joes of the world, that can sing his butt off. He's crazy with singing, but you don't hear a lot about Joe's like you hear about the R. Kellys and and everybody else that was on the market.
And Debo brings up a good point, man. When and this is not the case with Shador Sanders, so we're not saying this, but I'm saying when your character issues become greater than your talent, right, then you got a problem. People gonna put up with. I don't know if anybody ever saw what was it, the Making of Motown, and they was talking about Rick James. And Rick James, he'd gone out. What was that album he had?
Super Freak.
It was Super Freak was on it, so the tour made a lot of money. Second album he did after that didn't do as well, so he going and tripped in the VP's office. I mean, just tripped hard. And dude looked at him. He left, and he turned. And Barry Gordy's son was his manager, and dude looked at him and he said Lionel Richie, because after a while, I heard Bishop Oliphant say this, and it's just man, it was so on point. There's a scripture that says that your gifts will make room for you in high places.
Yeah.
He said, but it's your character that keeps you there.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So a lot of times you can have the greatest talent in the world, man, but if you're a headache, if you're a cancer,
Well, like Iverson.
yeah, well, but see, even with Iverson,
Like after he did that whole practice bit, after he did that whole practice,
Is that
and
what
he
we
got
talking
into
about?
it with Brown. Brown was his coach then, right?
yeah, Larry Brown.
Larry Brown. After that, and even though he was killing.
Oh yeah.
After that, they traded this man.
Yeah, but he had also gotten older.
Yeah,
he took
yeah, but he was still putting up numbers though.
because he ended up going
To Detroit.
Detroit, then he ended up at Denver.
Yeah,
But see, he never could see himself coming off
the bench. But that was the thing because he was still putting up numbers.
Yeah.
And I think that was either Denver or Detroit that they wanted to bring him off the bench. But he was better than the guys that were starting in front of him.
But then when you hear a guy railing about practice, does he understand that that's a part of his job?
I think he does.
I think that was extracted. He said with all the stuff we talking
Yeah.
about.
So you want
We
to talk
talk
about
me
practice.
missing practice.
So you're not talking about the
And
game.
look, when Michael Jordan didn't want to practice, he
Yeah.
didn't practice.
Yeah.
As a
he,
matter
he
of
wasn't,
fact,
he wasn't Michael Jordan. He
yeah,
was-
but he was.
Yeah, but he
AI.
crossed Michael Jordan. He was the
AI.
first person
He
to
was.
cross
I mean, he
but
was big.
but he never gained or brought the hardware that Michael Jordan brought.
That's true.
That's true.
But he was a
But
first round Hall of Famer.
Popularity?
I mean, wasn't no question. And he went in with Shaq,
Yeah.
which I thought was an interesting extremes. But no, man, Allen Iverson was the truth, man. If he's not the greatest guard on the 6 foot to ever play,
Man,
dude, in the NBA.
anytime.
Spud Webb,
No, Spud wasn't better than
Spud, Muggsy Bogues.
Spud. Muggsy was, these was all guys that was quick. Spud could jump out the gym, be so small. The thing is, Allen Iverson was so cold. He crossed Jordan. That very next day, Jordan go to the hierarchy, and they changed the rules.
They changed the rules. They started enforcing the carry.
They started enforcing, even
It was
though
always on the book, but I don't think he carried.
he didn't carry though. Even if you
as a
watch
matter
it
of
back,
fact,
he
now
didn't
the
carry.
carry rule has changed. Where we used to call like a high dribble carry,
Yeah.
not anymore.
Not anymore.
And then the way, and
It's on
then
the side.
when you look at him, his hands,
turning the ball over.
yeah,
Yeah,
his
but it was on
hands
the
were
side.
so big.
It went underneath.
That's the other thing. His arms were so long,
Yeah.
his hands were so big.
yeah,
He's like Rondo.
yeah,
Just those Kawhi Leonard.
yeah. Leonard. Yeah.
Julius Erving.
yeah.
But I give you somebody who turned out to be early on, especially when he was at Phoenix. Didn't Danny Ainge coach at Phoenix?
Danny Ainge? No, I don't think Danny Ainge.
Yeah, wherever Danny
Ainge?
I thought he coached at Phoenix. Robert Ory.
in the front office.
Yeah, I don't think he ever.
Robert
coached at Phoenix.
Ory was a headache. That dude was
Yeah.
immature.
Yeah, because matter of fact, I saw a story of him talking about when.
Look at
Yeah,
Dennis.
I think Danny Ainge did come to him because he
Look at
said that he
Dennis.
hate Danny Ainge. Danny Ainge told him he was going to trade him. Something, but Robert Horry actually speaks about it. I'm gonna pull it up on the internet. when we
Look
go
at
to
Dennis
break.
Rodman, man. True basket case.
Yeah, but
Basket case. But no. But
yeah,
they sat down with that dude before they would bring him onto the Bulls.
Yeah.
And they told him we ain't having that over here.
yeah.
I think that happened with our Robert Ory when he got to San Antonio.
San Antonio.
Yeah. Where did Danny Ainge coach? Phoenix Suns.
So that
He
is
coached
true.
Robert because
when
Robert Ory
Howard
threw a
told
towel
him.
on him.
Sure did.
Threw a towel on him.
And that's when they traded him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because he Houston was winning.
Well, look at your boy, Milwaukee native, Latrell.
The
You
choke
can't
PJ.
choke your coach.
Oh, PJ. Yeah.
Even though everybody agreed with the choke.
Yeah. Like I said, PJ was a.
May we help you, sir?
So anyway,
They
Hey.
there? Okay, make a call.
we
I have a show to do right
we
now.
are on the air.
Are we on the air?
We are on the air. Let's just do it live. Just do it live.
Taking food orders. I'm gonna have. Let me get a double cheeseburger. Let me do with the works and.
He's back.
All right. So here's what I wanted to talk about. We started all off with football. Shadir Sanders. We kind of veered. I sent you guys
I've seen it.
I sent you the report on CNN.
Yeah.
CNN just ran a report on male cheerleaders in the NFL. And the Minnesota Vikings have added 2 male cheerleaders.
And they're in the front.
That's caused a backlash. So
in the front too.
Backlash.
backlash.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
No Diddy.
They. So anyway, when we get back, we're gonna talk about male cheerleaders
This is terrible.
in the NFL.
That's
Take a break. We'll be right back.
and 106.5 FM with your host, Keith Parris.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. And yes, those of you who are watching on YouTube and Facebook, this is my wife buys me all these protest t-shirts. And so free DC, free DC, free DC, free DC, free DC, free DC. Oh, okay. He tossed you one. I don't get nothing.
Hey, man, I'll be having my chocolate
the
fix.
treatment that I'm getting at this station, I'm getting with my management team. We need to sit down. But yeah, free DC, free DC, free DC. All these messages that I find stuff. What we're trying to do is we want to try to see if we can pull up the clip that appeared on CNN concerning male cheerleaders in the NFL, and I'd love to see. Now, let me say this: that back in the day, many of the cheerleaders, like if you were at Yale was all male. The cheerleaders were male, right? And so you always had those. George Jr. was a cheerleader at Yale. So, yeah, you got it. Is that the CNN? Okay. I don't see. Yeah. So they've always been male cheerleaders. Just trying to see why these particular cheerleaders, why they elicited such a backlash in terms of, is that it? Yeah, it looks like that one right there.
This one?
Yeah, that was the one that you had. Who put it on? Was that you?
This one?
What's the one that Byron? Did you just put it up on the screen? Was that the one?
I'm trying to find the CNN.
Yeah. With all the things, but and many cheer squads, especially those because of the what would be the gymnastics that's involved, and you see them throwing folks or women in the air and catching them, and you got it? Oh, there it is. Is that it? Okay. You got some volume? Yeah.
Okay. Here we go.
Playing defense after announcing male cheerleaders would be joining their squads. Shortly after, the Minnesota Vikings posted this video to social media featuring cheerleaders Blaze Sheik and Louis Kahn. Online backlash and hateful comments swiftly followed. One user commenting, "How embarrassing." Another writing, "I just lost all of my respect for the Vikings." The Vikings organization quickly defending their cheerleaders, saying in a statement, "Male cheerleaders have been a part of previous Vikings teams and have long been associated with collegiate and professional cheerleading." Adding, "We support all our cheerleaders and are proud of the role they play as ambassadors of the organization." Sheik and Khan appearing to take subtle jabs at haters, sharing this photo in their uniforms, writing, "Wait, did someone say our name?"
All of us have had experiences like this since the time we started dancing growing up, far before we became NFL cheerleaders.
Speaking with GMA overnight, Philadelphia Eagles cheerleaders Alex, Dalton, and James sharing a message for their colleagues.
We know what it feels like to feel that somebody doesn't support you for simply doing something that you enjoy. And so it's been really a pleasure to be on a team that has multiple boys where we can fall back on each other.
I would say to keep on dancing. You're already doing what you love, and you were selected through this rigorous process, and you deserve to continue to tune the noise out, because at the end, it's really only you and yourself, and you have to make yourself happy.
The first male cheerleaders in the league were introduced in 2018 via the Rams, but their presence has grown ever since. And today, roughly 1/3 of all NFL teams have male cheerleaders who help energize stadium-packed crowds.
Just having this opportunity to do this is life-changing for all of us. We never know when we have that little boy who also loves to dance, and we have that amazing opportunity to show them that they can do anything that they put their minds to.
So those Eagles cheerleaders tell us there's mostly a lot of positivity around what they do. And the Vikings also tell us, here's a quote, every member of the Minnesota Vikings cheerleaders program has an impressive dance background and went through the same rigorous audition process. And these cheerleaders are not unionized and they're generally part-time employees. So they do this mainly because they're talented and they love it.
I'm not laughing at the
I'm
fact,
laughing at.
I'm not laughing at the fact that
I'm
they are cheerleaders.
I am.
I'm laughing at the response that people have had to these cheerleaders. So,
Hey man. Oh, yeah.
better that it was the Vikings
Than the Packers.
than the
Yeah.
Packers.
Yeah,
That's
man.
catching the heat.
Yo,
But yeah, it was
hey,
Tommy Tuberville, who coached at Auburn. Really, he's a senator now. Really had a problem with it. He said the NFL basically has crossed the line.
yeah. You know, Keith, that just threw me for a doozy right there because I wasn't expecting to see that. But yeah, yeah, man.
So why are you having the reaction that you're having?
I mean, do you want me to be honest?
No, I want you to lie.
Okay, I think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna lie.
Don't waste your lies.
Yeah, I might need it.
Right.
I'm. Boy, that really
I know what it is because football is such a manly sport,
Listen
right?
here, man.
It is one of the most masculine sports in the world.
Hey, man.
But you know, on a serious tip, there's a brother who came out
That
in
played football.
Yeah, played football.
Yeah, he was a defensive end or something like that.
And he came out and he brought up and it was because last Sunday at Greater Galilee, I was talking about masculinity and how, especially for descendants of enslaved African males, we almost have a hyper masculinity.
Yeah.
And so when you see someone who is considered feminine acting, right? That pushes up against our sense of what a man is and masculinity. The dude didn't go as far. Let me pull his name up. He didn't go as far as to say that, first of all, there are gay men playing in the NFL. There are gay men playing in the NFL. But because of the culture of the NFL that puts an enormous premium on masculinity, on aggression, these things that we think should be considered masculine, the NFL has not gotten to the point that if you are gay, that you can be openly gay in the NFL. I don't see it happening anytime soon.
Yeah, I gotta ride with you on that, Keith. However, I think some of these guys, they kind of display what they are when they enter into the stadium with certain uniforms and clothes on. Because I know one football player in particular came to the game with a halter top and kind of like like one of those the Irish bagpipe skirts. On matter of fact, he played for the San Francisco 49ers.
But a kilt is not considered feminine. A kilt is a uniform.
Yeah, but a halter top.
A halter top.
Yeah, he had a halter top.
Look, Cam Newton.
Yeah.
I don't subscribe to the stereotypes.
Yeah.
But if I was that type of dude,
yeah,
some of the stuff that Cam Newton put on.
Oh yeah.
Now, but again, the way you dress is not an indicator of what your sexual orientation is.
Sometimes it can be.
It can be, but I'm just saying overall, it probably isn't.
Yeah, because I mean, you ain't gonna catch me in the Lear tots and the halter top because that ain't that ain't how I roll. But
back, when summertime, Keon would come in and he'd have his shirt. Look at Big Sexy have his shirt buttoned down, see it all,
moose hair,
his man's hairs, But no, I know the reaction to certain football fans because we do have a sense of what it is to be male, what it is to be masculine, what it is, what manhood is. And I'm gonna be honest, man, it can be a struggle. If you, people say I'm comfortable, in my manhood, maybe not. There's some days that, because you have all these assaults, and it's not as bad for us as it was for a generation prior to us, where they were referred to as boy was never considered a fully whole man. It's one of those things. And like at football, I don't know if there's a more masculine sport than football. Rugby. Yeah. Hockey. Boxing.
Yeah.
Ultimate fighting.
Yeah, UFC. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. And maybe that's changing. Maybe those so-called norms are shifting. There are, when you talk about men and nurturing, for example, or we talked about it on Tuesday with Dr. Ali. We talk about men being able to cry, and being able to express emotions other than anger, and frustration, and because when she was talking about the riding helmets. Many of us grew up, if they did have riding helmets, my mama couldn't afford the bike and the helmet.
Right, you got one or the other.
One or the other, so you could be that one unfortunate kid where the mom said, well, I'm gonna buy you the helmet and you're gonna have to wait on the bike. And now you out there with a bike helmet with no bike.
Just standing there.
That is. We gonna wear you out, right?
We gonna tear
you up, man. Oh man, kids can be cruel.
Yeah.
Kids can be cruel. I mean, you just going. When I was growing up, and I said this on the air, if you had like a Detroit Lion helmet, your family was poor because that means they couldn't get the Packer helmet. How you wear the Detroit Lion helmet in Milwaukee? In Wisconsin, any place in Wisconsin. You got a Minnesota Viking helmet. It's like, oh man, y'all really poor. Not to say we wasn't poor,
right?
But I got a Green Bay Packer helmet,
and you don't.
Yeah, or even. Oh man, sometimes on our block it looked like something out of our game. So we used to have a Goodwill on Green Bay. We used to have a Goodwill. So we go to Goodwill to buy football equipment, right?
Oh man.
Now you get mad, it's in the Goodwill.
Yeah.
So some of those pads were like from 58.
Oh, the old
pads with like no pads at all, like leather.
They hurt.
Yeah, they hurt. Then you had the helmets with that hard plastic, face guard. If it ever broke, it's gonna cut.
Yeah.
So we go and get our little uniform, man. It was so pathetic. It was so pathetic.
Memory
lane, boy. There's another instance of just how poor we really were. But yeah, man, if you had and don't wear no Bears, how you get a Bears helmet?
Oh, you really didn't.
Everything was sold out, huh? You got a Bears helmet? Like, oh man. So anyway, I get the calls on it, so I guess everybody's cool with it. I definitely can't wait to the Viking game.
Especially when wait a minute, when is their first game? Because I'm sure. So and do these cheerleaders travel with the team, or
I think
they just home
home game?
Okay.
Well, you know what? But cheerleaders in the pros have had a kind of checkered background. For a long time, there was never a black Dallas Cowboy cheerleader.
Mm.
Get our schedule here. Let's see. Oh, they was fighting that Seahawks. Huh?
That ain't nothing new.
Hate the Seahawks, man.
Man.
I hate the Seahawks. God, I hate the Seahawks, man. They
But you know what? I actually use you know, because the Seahawks are known for the 12th man, right? Is it the 12th man?
Yeah, the loudness of the stadium.
Now, that's proof too, you know, going back to the biblical days of how important sound was and how powerful sound is. Because
good tie-in.
Yeah. Because with the 12th man, I mean, it's so powerful in there, man, that the stadium shake.
You know, and I wanted to ask Roland Martin. Roland Martin was the speaker yesterday at the Business Council luncheon. I wanted to ask him, how did he end up at Texas A&M? He was an Aggie.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I didn't know if he was there. He originally went in with the Corps Cadets, but they have the 12th man.
Really?
Oh, they stand the whole game.
Oh, wow.
Texas A&M. Yeah. Wasn't that Dak Prescott? No, he was.
I don't think he went to Texas A&M.
Mississippi State. He played with Evans, right?
That I don't remember.
Yeah, he did. All right, so Packers opened the regular season against the Detroit Lions, followed by the Commanders, then the Browns. So we could see Shadir.
So don't they start on a Thursday night?
Yeah, whenever Sunday.
Sunday, and then they got a Thursday night game, don't they?
Yep, against the Commanders.
I'm going to that
Sunday,
game.
and then they play the Commanders. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going.
Then
to
they
that
have
game.
the Browns on the 21st. Then they have the Cowboys on the 28th. So it looks like they're playing the AFC Central. Is that Browns, Bengals?
Yeah, Browns.
Okay. Then they had the Cardinals, Steelers, Panthers, Eagles. We want to get a chance to see the Eagles cheerleader. That's a home game for the Packers. They got the Giants that look NFC East. The Vikings on November 23rd. Then the Lions. Then the Bears.
The Bears.
They play the Bears twice in December. They play them on the 7th, and then they play them on the 20th. And then between the Bears game, they have the Broncos. They have the Ravens at home. Okay. And then the final game, they have the Vikings in Minnesota. Yeah. We're in Minnesota. Yeah.
Nice.
So I don't know what the Packers are looking like. Preseason is tough. You don't get a chance to really gauge a team.
I mean, just even with the preseason, even with the preseason, when you look at, just some of the guys that's playing, like you really can't get a feel for the team because some of those guys don't make the team. So just seeing some of the defensive mistakes that's happening over the middle again.
But their defensive backfield was decimated. A lot of injuries.
Yeah, but I'm talking about now.
Yeah, but I'm just saying. So last year, part of it was just the injuries in the secondary.
Yeah,
because that rookie that's playing safety, that kid was the truth, man.
Oh yeah.
And then he got hurt.
Yeah.
Which is, that goes along with football, man. There's no player ever played in NFL that's ever not got hurt. You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. So I think the Packers got like what 20-some people that's hurt right now.
But the first Super Bowl they won under, was it Holmgren?
Yeah, Mike Holmgren.
Was it that one? That was Brett Favre. No, so it would have been under McCarthy. He won the second one, right?
Sherman.
No, McCarthy. Sherman never won the Super Bowl. He's
Sherman
an awful
never
coach.
won. Yeah.
I thought it was McCarthy, where they had 21 players on IR.
Yeah.
And they won the Super Bowl that year.
Yeah.
So, go figure. And then you have everybody healthy, and you go nowhere.
And you can't win.
You can't win a game, man. So,
yeah.
They estimated, as I do my fiduciary responsibility for journalism, they estimated that All told, they're going to do 180,000 burgers.
George Webb.
George Webb. They gave out 100,000 vouchers that people can redeem, and they're saying that it was close to maybe 100,000 who actually went to get their burgers.
So can you still get them or no?
Yeah, with the voucher. If you
Oh.
got the voucher, you can go, I think, to the end of the month.
Oh,
So I had to ask the question, Google, how did George Webb's pay for? I think they must have had some type of insurance.
Yeah.
To cover it if that ever happened.
Yeah, somebody had to pay for it.
The free, yeah, well, yeah, because it was the free burgers.
So I wonder if they use that as a write-off.
Yeah, it could be a write-off. Searching.
Yeah, they could have.
Well, it says George Webb doesn't directly pay for the burgers anymore. The current, oh no, that's not when.
Wow.
I wonder how they did. They must have like an insurance. There has to be some type of, and something that you take out just in case. How did George Webb pay for the free burgers? Let's see. Let's go. The promised current practice. Oh, they write it off as it's a cost that is now handled by the current owners of the franchise as a form of marketing and a significant boost to public relations. So it is part of their marketing budget. That's how they're gonna mark it off. But and then we got so caught up in the getting the burgers, we gotta go, dude. The playoffs are coming,
right?
You know, what I mean, you. That's all we cared about. Not said that's all we cared about, but man, I told I don't know who I was talking to. I said I wish my nephew works for the Brewers, and I wish I would have been there for the burger game because I was taking Frankie home. And there was like no one had left the stadium. The game had just ended. Nobody left the stadium because they're yelling burgers.
Wow.
It's like when you get up to something. What I know, some teams have promotions if you hit a certain score.
Yeah.
And then they boo.
Yeah.
The team when they don't hit the
It's
score.
like the Wings.
Right. Oh, the Wings is two missed free throws.
It's two missed free throws. Yeah.
I asked that question. Missed free throws. Wasn't a kid from Detroit though, and not only did they lose the game, the Bucks got wings. Bucks fan.
Was that when who was at the line? Cade?
No, he was
Jaden Ivey.
Yeah, he was a rookie.
So probably Jaden Ivey.
Let's see. But he doesn't. Wingstop foul shot promotion. Foul FOWL shot promotion. Okay. Let's see. So Giannis might have gone and gotten some people some wings in other cities.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Wingstop foul promotion. When the visiting team misses foul shots, you score. Okay. Score 5 free boneless wings with any minimum qualifying merchandise. Let's see the list. At Milwaukee Bucks home game on or after January 1st, 2025, when a player on the visiting team misses 2 free throws in a row in connection with a 2-point play or a 3-point free throw in a row connection with a 3-point play during the fourth quarter and or overtime, hurry to Wingstop. You need to act fast. Disclaimer. Offer only valid the day after every Milwaukee Bucks. So I don't know if it's just the Bucks doing this. Okay. All right. You're listening to Community Voice. It's Friday. Phone lines are open. 414-444-5250. 414-444-5250. We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. All right, welcome back to Community Voice. Caller, welcome to the program. Good morning.
Yeah, Keith. I'm a guy from Colorado, and I finally made it to your city in Milwaukee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I was driving around and everything else like that, and very interesting city. Very interesting city. Went to your downtown and went to your north side neighborhood and everything else like that. And I can know with this driving around, the roads were very rough. But I can say one thing: I see in my mind, I see so much potential in the city that has not been realized.
Okay.
And I say that only because when I saw your downtown and then went to some of your neighborhoods, I thought it was going to be like what I've seen in Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be utter chaos. I thought it was going to be utter this organization, just from what you hear from the news and what you guys talk about. But I didn't see that. I was around Capitol and 10th, and I was around some other areas, but I personally did not see that. And I think, and it seems like the city's depressed economically, from what I see.
Some parts, and then other parts are really thriving.
Yeah, I can see this from the economy overall. I mean, Wisconsin and it's not going gangbusters like some other states are. I can see why some people are leaving. Because I spoke to people who said the reason they were leaving is because they thought they couldn't get ahead.
Right.
But very interesting. And then you guys have these parks. I mean, some cities don't even have park systems or neighborhood libraries.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know that
system it was always our jewel. When you look at our park systems, and we would, for a long time until the county began to face some fiscal challenges, always got high marks for our park system.
Right. And also you guys have neighborhood libraries.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of cities, there's quite a number of cities who don't even have neighborhood libraries, and you have rec centers too. A lot of cities don't even have that. So I mean, the city has its issues, but it's not a Detroit or Cleveland or even a Kansas City or a St. Louis.
I went to Cleveland. I didn't like Cleveland, but in some things I was very impressed with Cleveland, like the Cleveland Clinic and the impact the Cleveland Clinic has on the economy there in Cleveland. Of course, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is in Cleveland. Now there's a place called the Flats. I never got to that. I guess that's their entertainment district. Milwaukee has several destination entertainment districts. Everybody talks about downtown, obviously Water Street, and then the Third Ward. Third Ward is just, I've been to the Village in New York. The Third Ward is a very different animal in terms of how they've developed there. There's Bayview, where that neighborhood now is really changing in terms of commerce, Kinnickinnick Avenue. So Milwaukee is a city of neighborhoods, man. I mean, you can cross a block and go into just a pristine and beautiful community, or you can go the other way and you see, urban distress. So it is, and maybe most cities are that way. When I go visit other cities, obviously you see the distressed areas. Detroit never really recovered from the riots, and then just the industrialization of that region. And so you have, because right now they're talking about a lot of those vacant lots just turning into green space. I know they've talked about doing urban farming in Detroit. So in some ways we've been pretty fortunate, but we certainly have more boarded up abandoned houses. Certainly we have one of the highest poverty levels in the country. So there are challenges there, but there were some things that really kind of contributed to some of the issues we deal with in Milwaukee. We had in the late 80s and 90s an influx of folks who came in from other states because of the generous welfare benefits that was given away in Milwaukee, in Wisconsin. And so now you're dealing with that. That means that you're dealing with a economic demographic that has certain challenges. As you know, poor people just have certain challenges. There's no getting around that. And how do you address that? And then again, the jobs that we're leaving now for Black folks. What attracted people to this city? I know my grandfather and others came here because of, again, we were an industrial city. There were jobs here. And at one point we had, one of the most vibrant Black middle class classes in the country because of the industrial base. When that industrial base began to decline, jobs began to be shifted overseas, people, it began to have real impact. And then you're not attracting. So a lot of Black people got here because of jobs. A lot of our Black professionals got here because certainly in the 80s, you had companies that were recruiting. Miller Brewery was a company that was recruiting all over the country, trying to bring in Black folks. Certainly they would hit HBCUs. Excuse me. Shouldn't have ate that Snickers. HBCUs. I know that at one point Miller had a plant in Albany, Georgia. Albany State was in Georgia. So I know someone who was at Albany State who ended up coming to work for Miller. So yeah, those things have changed. The dynamics have changed. The economic dynamics have changed in the city. So who's here? When I was a kid, there was 1 million people living in Milwaukee. It's one of the largest cities in the country. But like a lot of urban areas, they have depopulated. And there are a lot of reasons why, white flight started, in the 70s with the expansion of the interstate system. People were then able to get out into suburban areas. And then you began to deal with urban blight. So we did okay. I think we kind of be in the middle, but we do have a significant portion of our population who are at or below the poverty level.
I mean, I can say this from driving around. I drove on Capitol and Atkinson, and I was on Martin Luther King. I did see some distressed areas, but I didn't see anything like when you're in Kansas City, Missouri, when you're in Detroit. And I've never been to Cleveland, like when you're in parts of Philadelphia too. I didn't see anything that came anything close to that. And I like when I spoke to people, as they said, there was no economic progress because I think one time you guys had a chance to get those. What was that? Scott Walker killed it.
They were
The
going to
wind
build
farms, trains and wind farms, and he didn't understand that. And they went to the other places. I could say from the state I am, they had their wind farm, and some people don't understand it. But those things are sold throughout the whole country, and I'm the one who helped put the. What I do is I help. I'm the one who builds the blades, the machines that make the blades for the wind farms.
Well, we do have wind farms here. We have wind farms in Dodge County. Yeah, we do. There is wind here. I but don't get me started on that little thing. But we do. I think and then we have to see what's going on. What's the major industry here now? It used to be breweries. We're not doing that anymore. And then with technology, and that's the thing, how technology displaces workers, right? The better the technology, the less need for human workers. And so if you have people then who are not necessarily, because when you look at our high school graduation rate is dismal. I mean, those things, but education is important. How do we raise that level where people can go into the next level? So
your wife is from Miami, right?
That's correct.
And when you told her that we should settle in Milwaukee, what did she think? You out of your mind, or?
No, actually, my wife had. I'm her second husband. She came to Milwaukee because of her first husband. And she came to Milwaukee and loved it. My wife loves Milwaukee. She she doesn't mind the cold weather. I mean, she just fell in love with Milwaukee. So that's pretty much how she got here. Yeah, I'm her second husband. How's that sound?
But like one thing I will say is that I went to that what was that Dare District you guys talk about?
Oh yeah.
It seems. Oh yeah, that was a very interesting building. The way the whole thing was designed.
Yeah, and
I
then
went to Brewers Hill,
mhm.
and I saw that, and I said, you know something, they had the same thing in the place I was from, but all the inner cities were mostly black, but they're closest to them. People didn't want to stay there. Even the black people living there didn't want to stay there, but a lot of them left, and they're closest to downtown, and they were building the downtown because people can just walk downtown to their job site and the restaurants and the stores, and not even have to. You probably didn't even have to have a car or anything else like that. And those areas are very pricey as you get
Giannis was living
closer.
in Brewers Hill when he before. Yeah, Giannis lived in Brewers Hill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look, I mean, if you look at it, it's just you overlook the city. You know, the skyline. It is, homes there are going for close to $1 million. You know, depending on where you are. Like I said, Milwaukee is a city of neighborhoods. Now, we have one of the best King Drives in the country. When you look, normally King Drives are really distressed. No, not our King Drive. And they're continuing to do development on King Drive. And then when they first renamed King Drive, it stopped at, I think, McKinley, because the downtown businesses thought that that Martin Luther King would hurt their business. And so until here recently, it was Old World Third that would pick up, I think, around McKinley. But now downtown, they use the MLK address, not a problem. There was a young lady here who was our first Black alderperson. And so 4th Street here now is Vel Phillips, and the Bucks and others embraced it, saying, okay. So, but it's not a negativity attached to our King Drive, because our King Drive is really developed and is developing, moving from downtown, moving north along that part of what 3rd Street then becomes Green Bay, which is King Drive. So,
yeah, I guess that you're right about that. I've seen the one in L.A. there, Martin Luther King Drive, and I can say it's isolated. It's in the Black neighborhood. And they let you know, sometimes they let you know the racial relationships when they hide how the community thinks about Martin Luther King. And I think the one in King Drive in Chicago is pretty long. And then
Cottage Grove, right?
I don't know.
King Drive in Chicago is Cottage Grove.
Oh, okay.
I think it's Cottage Grove. I'm not sure. I'll check. I'll be sure I don't want to make mistakes. Did you get a chance to
let me tell you something else.
Get a chance to visit any restaurants?
No, I did not see any restaurants. If you can recommend some, what ones you recommend?
Pepper Pot. If you want a good breakfast, Perkins, right here on 20th and Atkinson, over by the radio station.
Okay. I did go by that Midtown where your radio station is, and that area of Midtown seems like it's pretty rough. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. It's a changing neighborhood.
I mean, for changing for the worse or changing for the better?
Changing. Jury's out.
Changing for the worse.
In some ways, but there's good housing stock there, so.
Okay.
And welcome to the city.
Yeah, and like I said, it's very interesting. Like I said, I've seen a lot of things, and I do construction.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm here. And then I went down to Chicago. And the South Side, I hate to say that, it was a stereotypical South Side that you hear about. It seemed like there was a lot of dysfunction from what I saw.
But you know what was worse than Chicago's South Side is the West Side.
Really?
West Side, that was that was a real rough neighborhood. And I don't know how much has changed. It was interesting. Another dollar. That the Chicago Stadium It's right there on the west side of Chicago on Madison Street. That was tough. That was really Chicago, and I think it still is. But back in the day, Chicago was a dangerous place. I mean, you had, because of the gangs and because of just the grinding poverty, there was some things going on in Chicago. We used to go down and sing at a church. They told us, get off the bus, go directly in the church. Don't wander up and down the street because you're not from there. And when you finish, get back on the bus. That's real talk. And then, obviously, the notorious housing authority, Cabrini Green, Ida B. Wells, Robert Taylor. Candyman was Cabrini Green, though, right?
Cabrini Green,
yeah. But no, Chicago was, and it's funny you talk about Philly, because there was some parts of Philly that it was, Philly was, I love Philly, though. I mean, I think Philly had this flow. Philly was the first place I ever saw somebody wear a suit with sneakers. I had never seen that before, but they used to wear like nice suits, man, and have on like Dr. J's, obviously Philly, because Philly's a shoe town. Like if you go to Philly, they love shoes in Philadelphia. I mean, I don't know what it is about shoes in Philadelphia, but even when Julius Erving opened up a business, he opened up a shoe store. Shoes are big in Philly. I was at a March for Justice. It was called by Reverend Al Sharpton in D.C. And I saw this brother, and I was like, man, those some cold shoes. I said, you from Philly? He said, how you know? I'm looking at your shoes, man. I'm just, that was kind of a stereotype. It was a guess, but yeah. So, well, welcome to the city, man.
Okay.
All right.
And one last thing.
Okay.
I was told that Giannis had left the Bucks. Had he?
No. They're talking about how long he's going to stay, but no, he's still here. Thanasis is gone. His brother.
Well, he really ain't gone. He's just over in Greece playing right now. But they still got that open slot that they.
You think he's gonna come back?
Well, they got coffee on the training camp deal.
So you think that he's over there just trying to get in where he can get back because he lost the season because he tore the Achilles?
Yeah. So he over there getting back into the run.
I miss him.
Yeah, just on the bench cheering so hard and loudly.
Oh man, you gotta miss him, man. Yeah, so he's still with us for the moment, but as we know, things can change instantly where a trade is cut and people kind of figure out this is where we're going. So anyway,
one last comment, Chief.
Yes, sir.
One last comment. I can say your black mayor says he's trying to make it 1 million people. Yeah. I just don't see it. I mean, the economy has to be
booming.
It's
aspirational. You just, you got to shoot for the stars, man. What is it?
Right.
Shoot for the sun and you hit the moon. I mean, you want make a place livable. That's why we're really concerned about the perception of crime. When I say perception of crime is that there's the numbers and then there's our perception. Right now, our perception of crime in the city is that it's pretty much out of control. The numbers are saying that crime is actually dropping in the city. So
kind of like DC, when they say things are out of control in DC.
Right.
You speak to different people and they say they are. You speak to other people who say they aren't. I guess it depends on what neighborhood you are in DC.
Always been. Every city, but you would hear commentators say, I've been here 14 years, 15 years. But every city has spots that you have to avoid. I mean, that's just part of the urban landscape. I mean, you could have Seattle, which is a predominantly white city, but they have some places that you probably don't want to be in after dark. Every city has that, so I don't know. But we're dealing with some issues here, but we'll get through it. All right, man, I'm up on a break. Appreciate you. All right, you're listening to Community Voice. Phone lines open 414-444-5250, 414-444-5250. We're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
106.5 FM with your host, Keith Parris.
All right, welcome back to Community Voice. We just had another I always have to prove my love moment. I have a theory. I don't know if you guys agree with me, but I have this theory. I don't know why your woman don't get fined until somebody else start talking to her.
Oh yeah, man. I mean,
they
think
ain't
it's a
pushing up
territorial
on her.
thing. Yeah,
They ain't pushing up on her, man. They just, wow, that like now I've been ignoring her
all this
I've
time.
been dissing her.
Yeah.
And then, Pretty Jay, what they call him, he walk up. Hey, I really like that outfit.
I forgot about.
Yeah, I like that outfit. I come over. Yeah, well, I bought that outfit, dog.
Move around.
Yeah, keep moving.
Move around,
Come on, man. Keep moving, man. She get plenty love for me right now. It's always got to prove your love. But yeah, man. I mean, I don't know.
No, that is true though, man. Because man, I like you see that a lot, man. I mean, because I actually told this story one time. I was at the gas station and I just came from the shop of getting my locks done. And there was a young lady that was in there with her guy, and they were standing behind me, and I was paying for my gas. And she looked at my locks and she was like, "Oh, your locks are nice." And I was like, "Thank you." And she looked over at her guy and said, "You should get your hair done like that."
No, she didn't.
No, seriously. And he went off.
Would you?
Now, I wouldn't have went off on her in public, but I would have said to her in the car, "Hey, sweetheart." No, I don't even think I would have said nothing to her in the car, man. I'd have been like, if it was dope, I'd have been like, "Yeah, hey, man, it is dope. Doctor, who did your hair?"
We talking about somebody getting ready to lose their life.
No, but I tell you, he jabbed out so hard.
I bet he did, man. I bet he did. And I was like, yeah, man. I didn't even. I would just show you full transparency here. You don't always appreciate what you got, right?
Yeah.
So I was out, and this guy, Pretty Tony, what we call, he said, "Oh man, you with her? That girl over those pretty legs?"
Oh my! Ooh, you getting punched in your throat? Like, did you see me walk in with her?
I was cool.
Cool. So you should have called me.
Cool. No. I got between him and her. I know
that, right? Like, hey, man. We gonna eliminate this space so we can have opportunity because we gonna eliminate this space.
I appreciated those legs after that. Welcome to the program. Good morning.
Hey, what's up, my brother? How y'all doing, man?
Good, man. What's happening?
You got it, bro. Hey, what you was talking about earlier, man? They got a day once a year in Milwaukee where you can look at all those historical churches and stuff. You can get in for free. And
visit Milwaukee. What is it? Not visit Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Open door.
Man,
open door.
Yeah, they said them buildings look so beautiful. Yeah. How did they do all that architect, man?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we got to start doing that as black people. Just going, seeing some of that stuff.
Yeah.
All right, brother.
Down at all right, man, where the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra is.
Yeah.
That used to be the old Center Theater there.
Yeah.
Man, the architecture in there. It is tough because of the historical landmarks. If these buildings are designated as historical landmarks.
Mm-hmm.
But he's right, man. Now look, the church that caught on fire downtown, the Lutheran church.
You talking about Marquette, off of 12th Street?
No, the Lutheran church right over there, right by the morgue, is right by the courthouse. Caught on fire. They rebuilt that church.
Oh.
They rebuilt that church. Like they rebuilt Notre Dame in Paris.
Wow.
Yeah. But they rebuilt Lutheran Church
Wow.
caught on fire.
Yeah, I didn't know that one.
Yeah, man, they raised the money for it. And because it was he spelled Lutheran with a U, right?
L-U. L-U-T-H.
Church that caught on fire. Caught on fire.
Wow.
Yeah, but that's the caught on fire, Milwaukee.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Yeah,
about the
Trinity
church.
Evangelical Lutheran Church in downtown Milwaukee was severely damaged by a devastating 4-alarm fire on May 15, 2018, which started during a roofing project. The fire caused the church roof to collapse and the sanctuary to become unusable. Although church was a total loss, it was eventually saved and underwent a long rebuilding process. As of late 2024, the church was approaching restoration and holding its first services since the fire, although it still needs millions of dollars to complete the project. Now, part of it was, I think insurance covered that from the company that was doing the work on the building that started the process. You wonder, because I know the churches take out policies, and you hear where they're taking out policies for, the value of the church. Again, not knowing their business over at Mount Sinai, you would wonder, being that adjacent to that creek, did they take out a flood rider? Because they're literally, that creek is just running in front of their church.
Yeah,
and it comes out on the other side of 60th Street.
Yeah.
So you wonder to be able to rebuild. This is kind of a observation, and I know the frustration that some have expressed towards some of our major religious institutions, our conventions, our organizations, is the amount of money that we're able to stockpile for situations like this. And as I was listening to the reports on the Target CEO stepping down, because partially because of the impact of the boycott, but the fact that we would have religious leaders who would take an insignificant amount of money just to be silent. You talked about it yesterday. There's 30 pieces of silver. It wasn't even 30 pieces of gold. It was 30 pieces of silver. And where people are able to go. But a lot of it is, we don't always do the philanthropic investment where we're putting money away for situations where we can provide the aid and assistance. I saw Samaritan's Purse here, handing out supplies, helping people in distress. Everybody knows Samaritan's Purse is Franklin Graham, Billy Graham's son. I remember doing the Sherman Park situation. Samaritan's Purse was here. So there are people who raise money for that kind of outreach, but look, a lot of churches are just barely keeping their lights on.
Yeah.
And I appreciate that. But I think, just little investments that people can make where they can grow it. But seems like sometimes we cannibalize the very institutions that we need in order to satisfy some immediate desire, where we should be looking long term. Where I was watching a movie with Jamie Foxx and what's his name, Lee Jones. Can't think of what the guy's first name is. Yeah, great actor. But there was a situation. Jamie Foxx played Willie Geary, who is a famous attorney in Florida. This man, he's bigger than Al Sharpton's boy. I mean, he sued Disney, Coca-Cola, Willie Garrett, great lawyer. And they brought him in to deal with a case of a white funeral. Oh, Tommy Lee Jones, a white funeral director in Mississippi who had cut a deal because a lot of people, you look at funeral homes and you think they're locally owned. A lot of these funeral homes, black and white, are owned by national chains. And so they talked about how this funeral home conglomerate was going in buying up funeral homes and how they were basically ripping people off. And they were saying in high economic distress areas, they were charging more than the real value of the funeral. In part of that discussion, and the thing that one of the lawyers was able to research, and it came up in the research, was when under Dr. Lyons, the National Baptist Convention had entered into an agreement where they were selling basically burial trusts and things like that with the company. So they paid them, I don't know, more than $500,000 to be able to go in and do this and then try to promote their funeral homes, their businesses among members of the National Baptist Convention. So we have instances like that where, you know, people are taking money. That money doesn't necessarily go into what is necessary just for infrastructure. I know now that the World Baptist Center down in Nashville is in need of upgrade and in need of repairs. And we did so much to build that building. But part of what you're building that building is also what should accompany that is an endowment, money that makes money, that then can help you with the maintenance of that building, ongoing upkeep of the building. And they deferred that beautiful building. I don't know if you've ever seen the World Baptist Center down in Nashville. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. But just being able to do that. Now, look, I know we had to deal with some immediate concerns, but you wondered a lot of times is how we do business. You will see where you can have a white church that is the same educational level. Even the black church might have a higher educational level. Certainly income levels are comparable. And you will see something very different sometimes in those white churches. Sometimes, not all the time, because there are a lot of churches, they take seriously that infrastructure and what that looks like, and making sure that that infrastructure is there. So need to consider income disparity. All right. Someone says you should also need to consider that the income disparity in our country impacts on our ability to support some of these institutions or charitable organizations. But a whole lot, a little bit adds up. You know, no, you can't go and write $1 million check. But if people are consistently giving a little bit, and more people consistently give a little bit, before you know it. I mean, that was part of the whole Obama thing when they did their fundraising. They said, we just get a little bit, you know, and get part of what you're getting a little bit is that you're expanding your base of people who's going to support you. But it is, and then it's the good steward, you know, wise stewardship of the money that you make. But unfortunately, and look, this is not exclusive to black institutions. There are people who are ripping off churches every day, where they go in and they have access to the church funds, and they're siphoning off church funds. And then before you know it, now the church is in a financial bind because of the theft that goes on. They tell you that anytime you change a financial secretary or you change a treasurer in an organization, you need to do an audit. Now, I would suggest you do an audit every year, right? You just to see how your finances are, what you can do to better manage those finances, or to understand where you have deficits, and then how you're going to plug those holes. But it goes on, and like I said, it's widespread. It does not. I might do a lot of things in my life, but I won't go to hell for stealing church money.
No, sir. No, sir.
And the only reason why I won't go to hell for stealing church money is my mama beat that one out of me. Now, it might be some other things. Certainly, there could be some other things, but not that one. You know, and it's a sacred trust. And then when you think about, because that was the one of the allegations relative to Judas, that allegedly he was stealing money, and because he was the treasurer. Everybody knows, if you know, in terms of the disciples, that Judas was the treasurer, and so you had concerns with that. I don't really like being around that. The temptation sometimes can be really great, and so you admire those people who are able to kind of step back and operate in integrity.
Yeah.
But it's an issue, and like I said, it's not just black churches; it's white churches.
Yeah.
It seems to go across denominations. Organizations that have been put together to do good.
Yeah.
And then people rip off. People talk about. We were talking about the PAL League, right?
Yeah.
A church league.
Yeah.
And part of the issue was the corruption that went in the building of the PAL Center.
Yeah.
And where you had a particular legislator and others who decided that they saw an opportunity to enrich themselves, and they did. Well, that ends up hurting the community.
Yeah.
Because we're in a community, like my guy when he called in and says that, you have rec centers and things like that. So, that's a positive outlet for young people that was in jeopardy. So had COA not stepped in, Jonas Houghton had not stepped in, who knows what would have happened with that building.
And the whole crazy thing about that, Keith, is you have some people, man, that are really selfish. They're selfish and greedy, and they saw an opportunity to try to take some money and thought that people weren't going to see it.
Right. I think, I'll pay it back. It always starts with
Yeah.
I'll pay it back. I'll just put it back. And then, we have people who then dealing with, certainly you see a whole lot of the theft a lot of times, not a whole lot, but a portion of that theft is people who are dealing with a gambling addiction.
Yeah.
And now they got to fuel that addiction. He's passed now. I had a classmate, one of the great preachers ever. That boy could preach. Man, that boy could preach. Oh, he could preach. And he got one of the biggest churches in Nashville when he was 21, 22 years old, which is a mistake. You don't call a 22-year-old pastor. In order to be a rabbi, you had to be 30. And there's some maturity issues and things going on. Well, that was during that time of cocaine. Cocaine. And he developed a cocaine habit.
Oh, yeah.
And so he got put out of that church, was able to start his own church, had about 1,500 members when he started that church.
Wow.
But everything was in his name. And so they come to church one Sunday and the church is padlocked.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, church is padlocked. So things can happen. We put our trust, I give my money and I have trust in the people then who are responsible for the stewardship of that, making sure that it gets to where it gets to. And for the most part, it does.
Man, I know I've seen a lot as far as the church politics and things like that. And I'm not going to mention the name of the church or who the pastor was, but I was playing for this particular church and in Racine. And
go, man. We don't need to know the location. It was someplace in America. Go, man.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna say who.
I ain't gonna say who.
It was on Racine on Park Street. I ain't calling no names. His initials are HD.
But this cat, man, they was doing 150,000 in 11 months because they was, I guess they was gonna build a church or whatever. Pastor needed a new door or something. I don't know, but they was doing 150,000 in 11 months. So people was giving, and they had the chart that they was, filling in the chart for the gift. This cat got up one Sunday and told them, next week you can go fellowship wherever you want to fellowship. We are closing the church doors, and closed the doors and moved.
I'm gonna call it the name because this is public. It's public information. because there was litigation.
Mm.
The Dudleys.
Yeah, that too.
Left Park Lawn.
Yeah. Well,
started his church.
Yeah.
The church didn't realize it was in his name.
Yeah.
So him and his wife. So when they decided that they wanted to move to Michigan, they pulled up and went. And the church is going, what happened? It wasn't in the church's name.
It was in my name.
It was in their name. Yeah, that family. And so you had people who've been giving their money and boom, didn't realize. And I'm aware of some other situations where that church is in the pastor's name.
Yeah.
Pastor has control over it. Carlton Pearson will tell you that a whole lot of New Dimensions was in his name.
Yeah.
So when he took the fall, it all came on him.
Yeah.
I think Paul Morton, when Full Gospel was having some issues, he talked about, was it the investment?
I think it was an investment.
That whole investment thing.
Yeah.
And he put it out. Or Eddie Long, when he came in with the dude and parishioners had invested money and this dude was ripping them off. And I don't know if insurance covered that. I know insurance covered the scandal. So
this is crazy.
Yeah, you gotta, and I understand, people understand this money, the money keeps the lights on. I got all of that. Bill Winston, he who graduated from Tuskegee. Shout out Bill Winston.
Yeah.
He's their commencement. He was their commencement speaker.
So he's in Forest Park, Illinois?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he started a bank. And the bank failed.
But check this out. Have you been down to his church? Okay. So this church
strip mall.
Yeah, it's in the strip mall. So that's where the bank was too. It was in the strip mall. So they had a strip mall, they had coffee shop. So like on Sundays, it's people walking through the mall, and then you can walk through the mall and then walk through the mall to the church. Yeah.
And depending on your business acumen, but the issue with business is that there's some factors that go into business and whether or not your business is going to be successful. They went into banking right around the banking crisis.
Yep, sure.
And black banks, the only real money that they could get in the banks was Fannie Mae. And when the Fannie Mae's dried up, it killed a whole lot of black banks. It happened to North Milwaukee State Bank. That was part of their portfolio. So anyway, let me thank Byron. Appreciate you, man. Debo, thank you. Jermaine, thank you. Good Lord willing, Creek don't rise. Talk to everybody.